I'm so excited to be here with Stephen Jackson today. You are all in for a treat as we get some insights into Stephen and his experience and how he's been able to share that in this new ebook that he has. So I'll give you just a little background on Stephen. He has been an entrepreneur, network marketer, online marketer, ebook author, podcaster, and doTERRA wellness advocate for many years. And he's done that because it feels like it ticks all the boxes for him and gives him both the financial freedom and the global independence he has always desired. So he can choose where he lives and how he works. He's achieved his goals and much more with his globally developing team. He's found passionate and motivated leaders and distributors in the US, Canada, Europe, and Australia who are on this journey of a lifetime with him in building a sustainable business. And Stephen has proven to himself and the people that admire him that this is not just about being in the right place at the right time. It's about having the ability to duplicate success for all the people in his team and then repeat it over and over again. And that's the beauty of this ebook that you're going to see today. Stephen has helped people all over the world to make positive changes in their lives by helping them achieve their goals, make the extra money that they desire, and gain more personal freedom to actually live the life they desire. So we're going to be able to ask Stephen the questions you probably want to know and glean from his vast experience in this industry and give you some new ideas as you try to build your own network marketing business. So Stephen, I'm so glad to be with you today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I thought we'd start out with a kind of a broad question. Why do you think it was important to write this book now? And what do you hope it will do for leaders around the world?
I think I should have wrote the book a few years ago, to be frank. But, you know, things get in the way and you just don't get round to it. But I've kind of written I had lots of bits of paper, and obviously I was running my business from basically from the template of the ebook anyway. And so I kind of was doing this every day. So I kind of didn't think about writing it down. But obviously as time went on, I realized that it's very difficult to explain everybody individually what you're doing. And in the end, it becomes, obviously what happens is that in your mind, you think everyone understands, and you realize that they don't understand and that you're talking too much of a complicated language. So in the end, I thought, I'm going to have to write this down and I'm going to have to try and make it easy for everybody to understand. For example, if someone comes into the industry and they want to do this, but you know they already see the downfalls of speaking to family and friends, or trying to do the arm length, speaking to everyone at arm's length. It's a tough sell to get someone doing that. But if you can give them a plan, and I mean, I'm not saying this ebook is 100% guaranteed, but it's close. The only downside to this book is that if you don't do all the steps, if you don't do all the steps, it's not going to work. You've got to do all the steps, and so that's why I put the book into 14 steps and 27 tasks. So anyone that reads that book, it's a workbook. So you need to actually do the steps and do the tasks. And once you finish that, you will not only be empowered to run a network marketing business online, you will be able to run any business online. That is the power of this book. So it's not just thinking if you're an individual, maybe doTERRA business, or if you're in Amway or whatever business you're in, that this book will do just that business. No, it will do any business, because this is a generic way of running a business, but this will work.
Yeah, I love that. So it sounds like basically you've created a system that people can follow, and if they will follow and do the work, they can see results.
Yeah, it's an ABC book, basically. I don't remember, I did take someone through this some years ago, and I think they kind of felt that once they kind of built their blog and they kind of put their title page and they've done this and done that, and they wrote maybe 2 or 3 small articles, that was going to be enough. No, it's not enough. And it's the same if, for example, if I said to someone running network marketing business the traditional way, oh, you only have to speak to 3 people and that's it. That was oh, brilliant, I can do that. You can't, it doesn't work like that. You need to speak to many people, many more people than 3 people. And that's the same with when you're running your business online. It's the daily event. You need to be creating content every day, or going through the process of creating content every day. And that doesn't necessarily mean writing 2,500 words, but it means also creating interesting images, learning how to do some simple video, doing a podcast, which is probably the simplest thing in the world as long as you open your mouth and talk. Everyone has an opinion, so a podcast is very easy. And obviously vidcast now, that you can, again, if you're a good looking person or not, do a vidcast. It's all there. And a lot of this stuff I haven't even put in the book because the book needed to be put down in a concise manner. So I do a lot more than there's in this book, but this will do it anyway. Because if I put everything in there, you wouldn't probably get past task 2. So that's why I put it down as simple as possible that anyone can do it.
Right. And I've read the book, and I am not experienced in this kind of marketing, and I felt like it was simple. And my guess is there'll be another book coming that will have more. Once someone's sort of mastered this first part of the system, then there'll be more coming.
I'm thinking that at start maybe appendages to the book, and then after that maybe, obviously once because obviously the internet changes and marketing changes online, and obviously I'm learning all the time myself. I'm speaking to people and reading things online and finding new tools and new websites and stuff like that which I find interesting and useful to use. I will add it onto the book, or I will have maybe a part 2 or something like that, or advanced or something like that. But it all depends, obviously how the book goes at this time. But obviously it's starting to go well already, so I'm optimistic. So.
Awesome. So who would you say you wrote this book for? Who is it aimed at?
Beginners, I would say. Someone who comes into the industry and says to themselves, I want to do this, but I'm not that confident about speaking to people about this business, but I think I can write a few thousand words, maybe once every 2 weeks, explaining the business to others. And because it needs to be, people need to write not just 2,000 words, but they need to understand how to get in front of eyes, the right people's eyes. That's what the book's about. So it's it is for beginners. I mean, the book is called Beginner's Guide to Online Prospecting and Network Marketing. So it's definitely for beginners. So that's where they're really aiming for. And someone who doesn't know too much about network marketing, or online marketing, but understands enough that this will be a good push forward.
Okay, and what about that person who's been trying to do online marketing? They have some basic understanding and skills, but they just haven't found the success that they wanted. Do you feel like they could benefit as well?
Probably, because often you see people, what they do is they write the content without realizing that it doesn't matter how good your content is, even though your content needs to have value and it needs to educate. But if it's not in front of people's eyes looking at it, then it's useless. It's not doing its job. You need to be able to understand how to get that piece of content targeted to the right people who will want to read it. Once you get that, then the system works. But it's understanding that. And I know people are right. I had a friend, not friend so much, but he contacted me through LinkedIn, and he was like an affiliate marketer as such. He was spending a lot of money on marketing his business online. I don't exactly know what he was doing, but he says to me, when I told him what I was doing, he said, well, could you check my site out and tell me what you think? And when I checked his site out, he hadn't indexed it. Didn't have any meta tags or anything like that on there. I couldn't find it in Google. I mean, Google don't always index everything. Sometimes you need to ask them to.
Right. And Stephen knows what he's talking about. When I would look for Stephen's content, he always showed up in the top, which is hard for doTERRA. There is lots of really accomplished big leaders in the company. So he knows what he's talking about, and that's one of the benefits. If you've been even trying to do this yourself and writing what you feel like is amazing content, he's going to help show you how to make sure, like he says, that eyes get on it, that people see it, and that it actually does the job you're wanting it to do, which is to attract people to you and to your company.
Right, it's the word that we use is because you don't need to have a load of people, but it needs to be targeted. In other words, the person reading your content really wants that content and wants to read that content and wants the information that you've got in your content. So if it's on the fringes of it, someone's just going to look at it, flip away. So you can make it as niche as possible. So you can create a really tight niche. Say for example, essential oils for horses, something like that, something quite niche, which is and you can do a whole blog only about essential oils for horses. And there's loads of stuff your novice horsey person would want to know before they start putting essential oils on their horses. And so once you've found your niche, and I write that in the book, that's the key, is to find what area you're going to work in. Now, I've got loads, so I kind of like working with the idea of working online and stuff like that. So I've got my niche already, so that's the way I do it. But everyone should have their own. They should never follow me.
So a lot of people that have been in network marketing have been trained that it's a relationship business, and this one-on-one or in-person is the way to do it. Do you feel like this book and this idea that you're teaching about goes against that?
Well, obviously it does in some ways, obviously, but I think If you're a social butterfly and you've got a massive amount of friends who hang on every word you say, she don't need to do it online. You're probably going to build a team overnight. But 95% of us aren't like that. 95% of us have a small clique of friends, and that's kind of it. And if you've done network marketing before, and you've already, and because generally what happens is you join a few businesses and make a right mess of it, and you lose loads of. As soon as you walk in and start talking about network marketing, they're running out the shop and all that sort of stuff. So you may have already killed a lot of your leads if you've been doing the network marketing with 2 or 3 companies. So the online method is really your only angle. So, and it does allow you not to need to speak to people directly, but at the same time, you do need to build a relationship after that. Once they have joined your business, and once they've kind of joined it through your website, or they've gone on your mailing list or something like that, that's the next stage. But unfortunately, I think technology is moving so fast. I think the old style of network marketing is going to become obsolete. I'm sure it is, because there's going to be almost no reason to. Some of the later network marketing, or the recent network marketing companies that appeared over the last maybe 2 years or so, most of them are running almost only online and offering massive amount of multimedia systems within their platform, allowing the user to kind of build their business online and only online. So there is, I think it's going to change. I think the old style is going to become less used, I think.
Okay.
Especially, I mean, think about it. 10 years ago, when it comes to using a computer, I mean, some people would, I mean, I was okay with a computer, but not everybody was.
Right.
But now I think everyone is quite confident with a computer. It's only the extra little things on top which make it slightly more complicated.
So, who's influenced you in the writing of this book, Stephen?
Gary Vaynerchuk, I would say, would be one of them from his book, Crushing It. That's one. Again, I liked his book, but he didn't. And this is a big difference between my book and his book. And even though I can't even compare myself to him straight away, I don't want him phoning me up telling me, who the hell do you think you are? But he doesn't actually really explain what people are doing. He says what they're doing, but he doesn't fully explain what they're doing. Now, this book does explain 1, 2, 3, what to actually do, as much as I can. Because obviously platforms slightly change all the time, so Google has a big problem with that. It keeps on changing the names of things. So if what I've said this time, go to so and so, may not be the same next time. But try to do it. But yeah, Gary Vaynerchuk, I would say, is my main motivation. I would say, because I like his book a lot, and I've listened to it 6 times now.
Wow. So you've talked about things changing often in this this way of marketing. So if someone buys the book, will there be regular updates, or how will they stay informed of changes?
Yes, that's one of my things I'm intending to do, is to keep up, do kind of updates as regular as possible. And obviously, if they buy the book, whatever the price is on the site, because I think the price will be about $9.99. It depends on where you look, because and that's in dollars, US dollars. So it's obviously slightly cheaper in the euro But for example, if it's on Amazon, it will be slightly more expensive than it is on some other sites. If you want to know which one to go to, it's the best places to go to is PayHip. That's the cheapest one.
Okay.
Amazon is probably the most expensive, and then Lulu is in the middle somewhere. So, but yeah, I will be adding them to a mailing list, and every time I do an update, they will receive an update straight away from me. So that's basically how I'm going to do it. So it's a lifetime update. So
perfect. So they don't have to feel like they'll be left behind.
no, it'll be a lifetime update. I think the world is big enough. There's 2 billion people, so I'm not too worried if everyone buys it. But it's a digital product. However, obviously, I won't be able to update if they buy the paperback because it's possible. Hopefully, in about a couple of months, I will have a paperback version, which will be more expensive. But it's up to people. They want a paperback version, or they just want to use a pad to read it. Personally, I would just use a pad. It's cheaper, and you get the update.
Right.
So,
Hey. So I know people are probably wondering, okay, Stephen's been successful doing this process. Does the book really reflect what you do every day in your business?
Pretty much. I've, as I've said, I've kind of much simplified it as much as possible, but pretty much what I do on a daily basis. Obviously, I've got some other additional tools I use and stuff like that, and I do offer them in the book to people that want to use them.
So do you believe that prospecting online is the future of multi-level marketing?
I think so. I think this can be. The thing is, I think that you've got the things like your global nomads and things like this. That these are becoming these new, and also the pandemic. Obviously, the pandemic's changed everything.
Right.
You
right.
think about the amount of people. I mean, there's even a page in there about the pandemic and the way we work differently. We're working more remotely, and including you've got these global nomads. I met one in Gran Canaria this year. He was from Denmark, and he looked like a bum. I have to say, he looked like a bum. He was sitting in a bar there, and he was quite chatty. He started chatting to us, and anyway, it's chatting away there, and he was like, he wasn't doing exactly what I was doing, but pretty much that's what he was doing. And so I had a long chat with him, and he said, "Yeah, I do." He was doing Bitcoin. He was doing lots of different stuff. And when he paid his bill, he took out American Express Black, and he looked like a bum. He just looked like a bum, and he was like, yeah, trousers, he had a little rip in his jeans, and he's wearing old flip flops, dirty t-shirt. But then he's kind of takes his wallet out. It's got like American Express Black. You know? You just don't care about money. It's not about the money for him. You know, it's a lifestyle that he could just be. You know, in Gran Canaria. That's what he's doing. So I think the remote working thing is not going to go away. And, so working online is not going to go away. I think there's going to be new ways of doing it. I'm not saying content marketing is going to be the all and end all, but I think that's going to be. I think still people are going to read even in the future, but podcasting works very well, super well. Yeah. Video still works very well. You can create a nice piece of content and then add the video to it and add a podcast to it. It's pretty much going to be on the first page of Google overnight. So but it's knowing this sort of stuff, which
Right.
I mean the ebook, obviously you can find out this information anywhere, but it's knowing how to do it and what are the best tools to use. And I'm the one that researched all this sort of stuff, and so I'm giving this information to people in a reasonably cheap ebook, I would have said, which tell them how to do this.
So, is there anything in the book that you wish you would have added now that it's done?
Yeah, a few. I think I should have gone a little bit more deeply into video marketing. I think I've done a little sketch in there, but I should really have done a little bit more on that. But I kind of had to decide, you know, how the book was going to, you know, what I was going to do in the end. You know, I couldn't write everything in there.
Right.
So in the end, I had to kind of say to myself, what am I going to leave out here?
Well, I like too that, like, a beginner especially can easily feel overwhelmed. So it's nice to have the important basics that they can work through, and then they can explore more options after.
Well, that's what I thought. I think it needed to be a taster. It needed, and I thought that, you know, originally it was going to be steps. I was going to have all steps, but as I was writing it, and first of all, I got an American friend who lived just around the road from me, and I sent him the basic document, and I asked him just to read through it for me because he has at least some knowledge of online marketing and stuff like that. And he phoned me up about a day later. He said, "So this is a beginner's guide." He said, "Yeah, right." And then he let it. He came back about a week later. He said, "Oh, can I come round?" Yeah, come round. And we sat there most of the evening. He said, "You keep repeating yourself on that one. You repeating yourself here. What do you mean by that?" You know, so we went through it like that. And I said, first of all, I asked him the same question as I asked you. I said, "Is it understandable? Do you get what I'm trying to say here?" He said, "Yeah." But as I was writing the book, I realized that the steps were a good idea, but then I realized it needed something to focus the mind of the reader. So it needed them to, once they'd read something, I wanted them to kind of do a task or something which would make that information stay. And that probably comes from my education in social pedagogy. So kind of realized that there needed to be some sort of a process people went through from one step to the other and one task to the other. And when they got to the end, they should, in my opinion, have everything together. They should already have had the site up going. They should already be sharing their first 2 or 3 pieces of content. So that at the end of the book, it's just touching up. So if they do the book through the process and don't keep jumping all over the place, don't run to the end, go through the book slowly and expect it to take a couple of months. Because once you've gone through it once, you speed up, you see. So it's I mean, that's how the book works. And also it should be a reference book. You should be able to go back to it once you've done it. So, but yeah, maybe video conferencing. That might have been another thing that might have been happy.
Well, I, from my perspective, this is a great plan for someone to follow who's been curious about online marketing and not had the knowledge or experience to know even how to get started. You know, we've done some podcasts together, and one thing I've heard you say over and over is it's about the action. It's about taking action. Mm-hmm. So this book feels like a plan to guide someone through actually taking action.
Okay, I get it. I get it when people, you know, you say to people it's about taking action, you know, setting goals, making a plan, la 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 la, the usual thing. I think the main problem is that you say, okay, take action. And so, what action? What
Right.
action should I take? And then you say, well, make a plan. So I don't know what plan to make. And I think this is the biggest problem. But this ebook will give them a plan. You go through from A to B right to the end of the book. There is a plan there, and it's fully structured for it. And if you do it properly, you will be successful. Even if you're not even successful in the first network marketing you're in, you will be successful in the future in something else. Because this book will allow you to have a knowledge and power to run any business in life. That's basically what it can do. And it doesn't matter if you're running a network marketing company like doTERRA or you flirt into selling ClickBank products as an affiliate marketer. It will do the same job, but it just will give you such confidence that you can run a business online.
Right. Right. I love that. And it's a minimal investment, but it's a powerful investment in yourself and in your business in order to branch out into a new way of creating leads and bringing people into your business that are actually the kind of people you're looking for, the people who are wanting to build and wanting this information that you've been trying to share.
Exactly. I mean, I don't even care if they join my business or not, but if they join some business, that's what it's about. Is that I don't necessarily need them to join my business. I mean, they buy the book, join a business. It says not everyone wants to sell essential oils. You might want to or run an essential oils business. I'd like them to join my business. They may leave my business, but they don't need to. If they're not into essential oils, they're going to be rubbish at it anyway. Right. So, if they're into, I don't know, whatever other product there is online, they can run. They should head for that one. But the book will get them there. So don't make it make people. I don't want to make people believe that this is doTERRA Central sort of online marketing tool. It's not. It's for anyone running a network marketing business online and want to do it online.
Right. And how to attract the customers that will actually respond to your business, and also the builders that will respond to whatever business you're doing.
That's the key, is finding builders. And I think sometimes that's what I used to get upset about. And even with a few network marketing friends I know now who got me into network marketing, they would say to me things like, "Oh, you only need 3 people." And you don't. It's a lie. You don't need just 3 people. Just because if you have 3 people and they're rubbish, that's 3 people you don't need. So you want 3 leaders. That's what they need to tell you. And often they don't say that. You need 3 people. They don't need 3 leaders, 3 builders. Build a business. And I think the thing is with the online method, most of it's being done for you. The crunching of the numbers is being done for you. Adding them to your mailing list and doing the follow up. It's all done for you. That thing, because often I hear people, I keep forgetting to follow up. Really? Why don't you just put them on a mailing list, for God's sake? At least you kind of follow up a little bit.
Automate the follow up.
Yeah. You've got to do the follow-up is everything.
Right.
Anyone can join the list. It's that, like I say, it's about 4 or 5 emails before the time to join. So there you go. You need to know that someone joins your mailing list on Friday. They may not join until a month later. And that's the sort of way you got to think. But if the system's doing it for you.
All right. Well, this has been so.
Yeah.
This has been so informative, so thank you. And I'm just wondering if there's anything you'd kind of like to say as a closing.
Well, I think it'd be the best $9.99 you will ever spend. So, I'm not sure what $9.99 will buy in dollars will buy in the States, but not very much. Because I know it won't buy you very much in Finland, for sure.
I appreciate you sharing this knowledge that you have curated over decades of work in the industry. And so I hope people will benefit from the way that you've compiled it into a simple process that they can choose to follow.
I might put it up on one of the doTERRA sites, business sites, the podcast anyway. So people can listen to the podcast and decide for themselves.
Yeah, good.
Anyway, thank you very much, Shari.
Yeah.
We'll speak to you next time.
Okay.
Make a date next month.